Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and this is Elite Dangerous. This is episode 1 of the Inside the Rift series, and I'm actually using the Oculus Rift and playing the game that way. It is an alternate character to the one you see in my Exploring Elite Dangerous series, and I'm going to play through the game in this series simply using the Rift, as it can get a little bit exciting and it's quite a different format to how the other videos are presented. So let's get right into it. I'm currently out here trying to earn a bit of money from bounty hunting in a resource extraction site, and I've got to watch the friendly fire. This is patch 1.1, so it means that I could have clipped the federal ship there a little bit and I probably would have been okay and got away with it, but I still like to I still like to be a little bit careful with the trigger finger. Those ships pass so close to you when you're actually using the Rift. It feels like they're going to come crashing right through your canopy. Nearly got this guy. You can also see the heat raising up a little bit now, and that's again part of the new mechanics introduced into... Hello! That looks like a new skin. Well, this one I haven't seen before. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the heat a little bit because of the new mechanics introduced into this particular version of the patch. And that's it. We got him. I've been out this way about 30 minutes now, so I think it's about time to head back in and collect those bounties. Now, you may be wondering what's up with the aspect ratio of this video, and I'm just going to change it here to 16:9. It was actually zoomed right out, which is this default view for the Oculus Rift, but I've zoomed in here, and doing this will reduce the quality somewhat, as obviously I'm zooming into the pixels. So I'd appreciate it if you could let me know which version you prefer. I'm going to actually zoom in and out a few times during the course of this episode, so when I'm zoomed out you actually get a slightly wider field of view and you actually get a slightly higher quality video, but it also means that the video itself is smaller and is framed by black bars on the left and right. When I zoom in like this, it will fill this screen for those of you with a 16:9 monitor, but it will also probably degrade the quality a little bit, so it's a trade-off. I'm not sure which one I prefer. I think I personally prefer the zoomed out view, but then that's mainly because it mirrors what I'm actually seeing here on the Rift a little bit more. So do let me know which way you prefer to do that, and I'll make sure future episodes are in whatever the majority of you want. But of course I guess I could always continue with doing what I'm doing here, which is switching between the two views throughout the course of the video. Either way works, let me know. So I've got just over 130k worth of bounties to collect, and as you can see I'm already in a Viper. In the previous video I was in a Sidewinder. I got most of the money from bounty hunting anacondas. They don't seem to be about too much at the moment. It was mainly cobras back there, but they still give a fair amount of money. I'm going to zoom back out again here on the aspect ratio, just so you can get a comparison in terms of quality and sharpness of text, as I'm going to be heading into some menus now. Now the only other slight downside of being zoomed out like this is that for some reason since patch 1.1, when filming with the Rift, it actually tends to crop slightly downwards, so that the ship's UI is down toward the bottom of the screen rather than toward the centre. Right, so let's see then. I'm going to reload and refuel, and then I'm going to hand in those bounty vouchers, which will give me a nice chunk of new cash. What have we got here? Yep, we'll have them. Thank you very much. And that gives us around about 330,000 credits. Nice. Seems to be a little bit choppy here as well, and again that seems to be a change introduced in 1.1. Hopefully I can rectify that a little bit in future videos, and hopefully it's not bothering you too much at the moment. Now I've only had the Viper for a little while, but I would like to head out and check out the new community goals that are a fair distance away from my current location. That's about 75 light years. And I think that means I'm going to need a different ship. I do have enough money now with these assets here to buy a Cobra, so I'm going to sell up what I've got fitted to this Viper here, which is currently outfitted for a combat. It does only have around about an 8 light year jump range. Now I could head straight to the shipyard and sell the ship from there, but from past experience, if you sell the modules first, you get about 10% more money than you would if you sell the ship outright, and that's a fair bit of money with my current credit balance at just over 300,000. So I'll be getting a Cobra, and I'll outfit it with a decent jump drive so I can get out to the community goal system fairly quickly without having to do 20 odd jumps or something crazy like that. And when I'm at the system, I'll check out what the community goal actually is and what requirements I'll need to fulfill it, and outfit the Cobra accordingly once I arrive there. So what I'm doing here is just exchanging the currently outfitted modules for the cheapest version of them available, and that will refund me the difference straight into my credit balance. Some of these parts are fairly expensive, so I personally find it worthwhile doing this. 10% does add up. Not so much perhaps when you've got a wallet full of money, but certainly early on in the game. And that should do it, I think. Just get rid of this last module there. And I think that's doing, yeah, it seems to be a little bit choppy when I look left and right. Sorry about that. I'll try and fix that in what's going to have to be a future video. But hopefully it's not too much of a problem in this case. So let's purchase that. We want to sell the current ship. That gives us a fair bit of money left over, enough hopefully to get a reasonably decent jump drive. I mean, I don't mind too much having the lower jump drive, but it's 75 light years, and that's going to take a fair way to get there in the Viper. Not to mention that there's not a lot I can probably do with a Viper on the community goals anyway. And you probably noticed I zoomed in again there. I'd like you to let me know what you think in any reduction in text quality there. Right, I'm going to jump to the system map and let's have a look where we've got to head towards. It's called Yembo, and they would really love for us to help them build an Oculus exploration station. It's going to be the first time that the game actually expands out into unpopulated space. An Oculus station is the first port of call for expansion into a neighbouring system. The station is actually transported out there with huge massive engines. I think it does a hyperjump drive, and then it moves manually into its orbit, and all that happens apparently during downtime, so we don't actually physically get to see it happen, but it happens nonetheless. And once an Oculus station is out there in a new system, it actually can act as a staging ground then for further expansion into that system. The first part of the station that gets out there is just the hub, the big orb that you actually dock inside of, and I think we then complete further expansions, further community goals should I say, in order to provide more materials to have the rings constructed around the station, the habitation rings that is. So I wanted to just check the bulletin board there just in case there was a decent mission for me to do before I head out, but it seems there's nothing that's too worthwhile, so I might as well get off now and make my way to Yembo. It really can't be understated how truly massive the interior of these stations actually feel when you're on the Rift, and particularly when you've got one of the Lakon ships with a cockpit that allows you to look downwards. You literally get a sense of vertigo as you lift off there like that. The docking hatch there is actually much larger than it looks as well. So here we are in Yembo. I've edited out all the jumping because that stuff can get a little bit tedious to watch on video. This is going to be the first time I've ever seen... Oh, I'm coming in a little bit hot here. I shouldn't really be doing this as I'm playing open and there's other players around. Yeah, this is going to be the first time I've seen the community screen. It's not something I looked out at on the 1.1 beta server, so it'll be interesting to see what it looks like and what it's all about. I believe there's actually multiple stages to the tasks we've got to complete, and each one of them has to be complete before the next stage in the station construction can actually occur. And I'm not sure how many of those stages are actually physically visible during the process. For example, I'd like to see where the Oculus station actually appears. Is it going to be constructed near to this station here? It would be nice if it is. Now, where do I see the community goals? Certainly not there. Oh, we got a little bit of news about it though. Let's have a read of that. Right, that stuff's just a little bit hard to read here on the Rift. Let's lean in. Hopefully I can see it. Right, this far from civilization, establishing a reliable supply line can prove to be problematic. That's why the Explorers Association, in conjunction with Universal Cartographics, are offering to pay a premium on all high-quality metals brought to the terminal. Once collected, the raw materials will be processed for use as key components aboard the Explorers Association newest Oculus exploration station. Okay then. So I guess that means we need to go and look at the bulletin board. Ah, yeah. Totally new option there, right at the top. Okay, I like that. Slowly progressing along to the first stage of the goal there then. Okay, so the same flavour text at the top there. A minimum cash reward of 1,000 credits. We need to get 3.7 million tonnes collected. I assume that's of any metal. Rewards depend on your contribution to the goal. So the top 3 commanders get a 250,000 credits. So not a whole lot of money for the time spent, but the reward, I assume, is in the fact that you've contributed towards such a goal in the first place, which I can totally understand. I see there's a little progress bar up the side there. Okay. So I've accepted that community goal now. I'm just wondering how I actually hand the items in though. It doesn't look like I come back here and complete it as a completed goal. Perhaps I just sell it on the commodity market. We won't know until I actually get back here. Although it's kind of makes me curious, could I buy some of the metals on the market here and sell them back? No, they've got nothing to sell, so that's not an option. It would be a bit of a cheat if it was an option, wouldn't it? Although I suppose it's maybe possible to go to another station and purchase the stuff and haul it back here. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to outfit a mining laser and a refinery here and go to the nearby resource extraction site and mine the metals myself. I haven't got too much in the way of credits spare, but I've certainly got enough to buy a laser and a basic refinery. I don't think I need much else to get out there and do that, although maybe some weapons might be in order as there's plenty of players around and I'm sure some of them might attack given the chance. Then again, if they are going to attack, I'm going to need a fairly well outfitted ship anyway, and I don't have the money for that, so I might as well not bother with that as it's just a waste of time. So there's no class 2 mining laser, so I've got to go for a class 1 laser, and I'll only have a single one as I don't plan on staying up there too long or mining too much. For now I just want to see how this all works, and again I'm getting a little bit of judder here on the headset, and I'm not sure how much that is or how that's going to translate to the video itself. So it usually seems to be occurring when I'm looking to the left and right. I've actually got a second window open on the Rift. It's a built-in feature for Elite that the developers added a few months back, and it does add a small load to the performance. And in addition to that, I'm running the recording software, which also adds another overhead. And on top of that, I've also having to run the Oculus Rift in direct mode, and Elite really doesn't work too well in direct mode. It works much better in extended mode. So all those factors combined do have a little bit of a performance hit, unfortunately. But either way, we're still here and we're still able to record the video, so it's all pretty good. I'm just wondering if they've got a Viper here in case I want to go back and buy one later on and do a little bit of bounty hunting. Time to get out to that resource extraction site then and try a little bit of mining. I'm actually curious how that's going to unfold with the number of players here. As I approached, there were a huge number of players on the radar. It's one of the most busiest systems I've actually seen in the game since release, and you're probably going to see some of that as soon as the radar comes back into play there. Look at all these ships moving around here. I'm not sure what that guy in the Asp is up to, but oh, people flying around all over the place. Really curious what he's doing up there. Probably can't find his landing pad. Oh, I'm totally on the wrong side here. Sorry, Mr. Ship. I flew out on the wrong side there and we nearly had a collision. Too distracted. Very easily done in this headset. But yeah, as I was saying, there's plenty of players, although there don't seem to be any in this resource extraction site. So I gather they're either mining out in the other edges of the rings, or they're mining here in this resource extraction site, but either in a private group or doing it solo. But not to worry, no problem. It means we're probably not going to get harassed too much. So that's a little bit more ore collected there, but it still says that the resources are unallocated. Let me get back in position and I'll have a look at what's going on there. Right, okay, we've got 1 ton of coltan then, so that's why the resources were unallocated. That built up quite fast. They were roughly 25% chunks, so I shouldn't be too surprised. I'm not going to get too much of that for now. I just want to see how this process actually works. Someone's getting shot at over there. I think I just heard a slight explosion. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm not going to mind too much. I just want to get this back to the station and see how the process works. So hopefully 1 ton of the minerals is enough in order to do that. Though I certainly don't suppose that would put me in the top 100 commanders for resource rewards or gold rewards. I'm not far enough away there, and I've still got my hard points out, which is why I can't do the old jump. They're away, and so am I. Now I did see on the Frontier forums that someone had hauled around 4,000 tons of material out to this station, and that put them in the top 15%, so it does go to show how much time people are actually trying to spend in order to achieve and fulfill these community goals. I'd imagine that they would account for entire play sessions that are many hours long. Not something I think I would be able to put that amount of time into myself, not because I wouldn't find it necessarily enjoyable or worthwhile, but just because I'd find it a very time consuming. So the measly 1 ton I've got in my cargo hold here, I'm sure will account for nothing at all. Right, I'm going to make sure I go in on the green side here. Seems to be the current convention to do that, or actually seems to be the convention ever since the game has had stations. Let's get ourselves landed. Okay, and we're down, I think. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I wonder what I clipped there. Must have clipped something. A little electric static shock to my shield. Like those static shocks you get sometimes when you get out your car or something. Right, so where do I go? To the bulletin board? No, I guess not. Oh, there's one of those little power outages there on my Rift. I still haven't managed to rectify that. I think that's going to need a new PSU. So I guess I have to go to the commodities market and sell my material wherever it's gone. Where is it? There it is. 1 ton. There we go. But I don't get a notification of any type to tell me that's actually gone toward the community project. So maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. Maybe I'm actually doing this wrong. I don't know. So again, I seem to be getting quite a bit of lag in the station here, so apologies for that. Hopefully we won't get that in future. When you've actually seen my walking around the ship videos I do in the Rift, I don't get any lag like this, even though they're set in stations, so it may just be something to do with this particular instance in here. I'm actually in open play thinking about it, which is something different. So something's been destroyed there, look at that. I wonder if that was a player. Well, anyway, I think that can be a wrap for this episode. I'll be back again with a second episode, and hopefully it'll be slightly less jerky. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time. This has been Obsidian Ant, signing off.